या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। There are two ways through which mother was motivated to enter into the cellular level of her own body during the course of this sadhana, as dictated to Satprem, and ultimately the treasure became 13 volumes of agenda. In most of the chapters, Satprem quoted remarkable milestone-like quotations of the mother here in order to understand the visionary process of cellular transformation. So it is cellular transformation that is the master key for entering into the new zone, new world, other world of immortality. So immortality is not merely a vision or a hallucination, but it is a mandate direct from the Supreme through the supramental body of Sri Aurobindo. Mother guidelines are all derived from either direct vision or from the mandatory presentation and clues offered by Sri Aurobindo's supramental body to mother time to time. And that is what mother very clearly indicated here to Satprem. For the ordinary vision, externally, superficially, the body seems to have greatly deteriorated. If people look to my body when I am dictating my vision, or when I am sleeping, when I am doing my daily routine here in my room, the spectators who are moving all the while around me can look to me as my ordinary body. But it's not all. What is going on inside the body is my true being, and the endeavor and the adventure that my body is facing at present is tremendously unpresumable and inexpressible. None can understand it at present, but this is what the reality. People will think, looking to my body, old body, that aged body, it is deteriorating as usual, but it is superficial. The body creates and presents the image to the spectators around me is very superficial, is not my true being. But my true being is undergoing a tremendous universal adventure of bringing down new consciousness on the earth to get the body under the process of psychicization. So word psychicization is a new connotation. Up till now, there is no process, scientific process, biological process, anatomical process, a new velocity given to the atom of the spirit, the smallest microcosm of the spirit has ever been committed by any of the mystics or yogi in the world. So this is for the first time that divine herself has undertaken this new programming. So apparently it is the as usual deterioration of the body towards death, but internally something is going on, but it doesn't feel that way at all. I don't feel this way at all, that my body is constantly deteriorating, my body is declining, my body is aging. I don't feel. All it feels is that a particular movement or effort or gesture, a particular action still belongs to this world. In my body, no doubt, as people look to it and presume that body is deteriorating, is a one movement, superficial movement, but another movement which is superior one is going on and is not so visible to the ordinary spectators. This world of ignorance, people who are living in the ignorant world can think that my body is day by day deteriorating, but is not reality. Reality is something different. This world of ignorance is not done in the true way. The true way my body is working, my body is responding to, my body is receiving, is entirely a different thing beyond their comprehension. It's the true movement, and it senses or perceives that the condition I described earlier as gentle, smooth, without angles must develop in a certain way and produce bodily effects that will enable the real action. My real action that my body reflects is I am feeling internally. Doesn't matter. People around me don't feel it, but this is the real action what is going on in my body. So the apparent movement of my body is categorically different from the movement internally going on. Internal movement is cellular transformation and apparent movement is aging. As butterfly is growing up within the cocoon, so cocoon, instead of becoming and instead of remaining shelter, sheath to the snail or to the caterpillar inside the cocoon. Cocoon is aging, but caterpillar is getting transformed. This process is going on in each and every cell of my body. That is the really genuine and de facto movement of my body. Body, apparent body, physical body, mortal body is aging, but the real true physicality, which is divinity, though it is hidden divinity in my cells, is growing up. So my human body is deteriorating. That is the vision and understanding of the people around me. But my real body is taking place within me, is not visible to the spectators, and that is the genuine movement. So Mother distinguishes two movements going on in the same body at the same time. It is not done in the true way. It is not the true movement, and it senses or perceives that the condition I described earlier as gentle, it is internal movement of cellular transformation, is gentle, is smooth. There is no friction, no pain. Pain is my pain is there in my body, but it is in my aging body. It is not in my new body that is growing up within. As gentle, smooth, without angles, must develop in a certain way and produce bodily effects that will enable the real action. There is a way to be found. How can I express? How can I present? How can I manifest my supramental body that is being formulated inside to the people is a way yet to be found out. That is the way I am going to find out. This is my research. This is de novo research for the entire existence. But it's not found. Up till now it's not found. Like that. With one's head, it's a way that is being elaborated somewhere. I can feel that my body that is taking place within me is being created by other way. What is the source of it? I can't say at present. It is the determinism of Sri Aurobindo as supreme being executed by my vital, my physical and my mental in my body is my apparent work, but I am reciprocating to the determinism of the supreme that within my body new body is being formulated. It is also I that is not doing it. I am simply executing it. Lord, thou shalt wilt, mother says, Lord, thou shalt wilt, I execute. So my supramental body is also determined by someone else, that is by the Supreme Lord. As executive of this new vision, I am simply conducting this experiment within my body. But the energy, light, love, reality, divinity that is being given to me by someone that is the Supreme through the supramental body of Sri Aurobindo. There is a way to be found, but it's not found like that. With one's head, it's a way that is being elaborated somewhere. It is being elaborated somewhere. The detailed plan has been prepared well in advance by someone, and by someone means by Supreme, and I am simply to execute it. It has come to a point that whatever I change states, I feel as if my body were suddenly encased in rough files and wood splinters while it is comfortably propped up to the feather pillows. As an ordinary pillows, as an ordinary feathers of the pillows, my body is being handled by the Supreme Power. It is not under my control. My psychic is also under the control of the Supreme. The movement of my psychic, I can feel within my body that it is my psychic that is penetrating into the core of the cell of my body. But that is also my apparent experience. But the real motive force, the real force of motivation behind this movement is somewhere else. It is directly coming from the Supreme through the supramental body of Sri Aurobindo. In that exploded space, the sense of time to changes. This is what Satprem writes. The sense of time to changes. It is the new time that is being created. Movement represents the velocity, and the change represents the space. Change represents the matter. Change represents the process of transformation. Change represents the migration of the stuff from one state to the another state. That is transformation. And that is change. The migration of the cell from one level to another level, that is another state. But that is velocity. That is velocity. So change represents two things, space and velocity. Energy is same. Energy of my physicality is same. But the transfiguration that is going on within my cell is obeying another force of motivation that comes down to my body from the Supreme directly. One morning, mother said to me laughing, Satprem writes, one morning, mother said to me laughing. So she is pleasant, she is blissful, she is always experiencing inner joy while doing this tremendously difficult and tremendously adventurous adventure of consciousness, full of plight, unbounded plight. That is, mother has undertaken, but with all smile. This is Nijanand. This is Nijanand, Paramanand, Sahajanand, Brahmanand, Akhandanand. That is the real bliss, Satchidanand. One day we will say, do you recall that year? How we thought we were doing something? Do you know, I have said you that we are doing something. What we are doing is not spelled out, is not defined. But we are doing something, and not me only. I am doing something and you are also getting the glimpses of it when you are at your home, in your sleep also. You are getting the same vision, at least the blueprint of the same vision, what is going on in me. To that extent, see, we can imagine how Satprem is a soul selected by the mother for this very purpose. What is the tremendous fortune on the part of the soul like Satprem, who really received it. Prior to its total execution by mother in her body, Satprem is also getting glimpses with the grace of the mother. Simply he did not compile agenda nor recorded agenda, but her body became divine participant in the divine game, in the divine play. The little body of Satprem is also made a playground of the living infinite. While taking the truths of this unique experiment being conducted by the divine herself and himself on this earth of mortality. Well, believe it or not, you may believe it or not, but you are also receiving the same glimpses of my vision simultaneously. You are not aware of it, though you are made to receive it, because you are to record it. You are to maintain the truth as it is, unpolluted, for tomorrow. So that is also the task given to you by Supreme. I experience, I experiment, and the official documentation is being performed by you here unknowingly. You don't spell it out, you don't comprehend. What are the glimpses you are simultaneously receiving at the same time during night? Do you remember that year? That we are doing something, that is what I told you. So mother reminds him of the indications mother might have given to him. Well, believe it or not, I suddenly found myself projected into the future. What am I doing now? I am projecting myself into the future. I am creating the future. I am creating the future matter. I am creating the future biology. I am creating the future anatomy of my new body, the supramental body within my mortal body. So people can witness the external movement. I can witness the internal movement, and you are also made to witness my internal movement, but you did not take the cognizance of it. You be aware of what is provided, what is offered to you in your vision. No doubt, they are the glimpses. I am given that vision in detail. And under that guidelines, I am preparing my new body within my this deteriorating body apparently. Do you remember back then? Do you remember? I suggested you, I indicated you, I awakened you to note down all such things. Try to remember, try to remember. It is always to my left. I wonder why. It is always to my left. Some force is there. Supramental body of Sri Aurobindo is at my left. You remember it. You be conscious of it. I am merely an instrument to execute it. I am not creating. I am not creating. Creator is someone else. The force that creates this new body within my body is just standing at my left. It's always to my left. I wonder why. Do you remember back then? Oh, we thought we were doing something and knew something. We were doing something and knew something. Still mother uses the word something. Because mother is not at this level cocksure that is it possible ever that within my mortal body the immortality emerges? Within my mortal time the timeless emerges. Within my mortal space the new space is being emerged this way. Knew something. It was quite funny. It was quite funny. I am wonderstruck looking the powerful change that is taking place in my body at cellular level. You see, in the ordinary consciousness there is a sort of axis. Mother gives example how velocity is generated by Shakti, energy. This is a new challenge even to Einstein. Einstein also could not find it out. Energy is matter, matter is energy. Both are interconvertible. But why? Where? And how? Are still questions to Einstein. Mother tries to solve them. There is a sort of axis, you see, there is a sort of axis. An invisible axis is working there. Where there is velocity, there is axis. Where there is energy, there is axis. Where there is mobility, there is axis. But is not visible. In the cell also that axis is working, and in the whole of Brahmand that axis is working. Earth is revolving round its own axis and around the sun. Two velocities are there in the entire cosmos. Similarly, two velocities are there in the entity of the cell. Ya pinde sa Brahmande. The body is not Brahmand. Each and every cell is Brahmand. And the same velocity is working, same energy is working because axis is there, but that axis is not visible. You see, and everything revolves, and everything revolves around the axis. Everything revolves around the axis. Our entire planet also revolves around the axis. Axis is not seen. Sun is also there on one and one axis, but it is a center. Axis is there, but that axis is not seen, and that axis is there in my cell also, is not seen. But I am convinced that there is axis around which the cells are also moving and creating their own pattern. If that pattern is changed, then time will be changed. If pattern is changed, then velocity also will be changed. And time and space will be changed of my cells. Immortality will be changed into immortality. There is a sort of, you see, and everything revolves around the axis. It is set somewhere. It is set somewhere. I don't find its own location. Similarly, I don't find the location of my axis within my body. And if it moves a little, we feel lost. And if we get slightly deviated, we are lost. That becomes disorder. If we lose the connectivity with the axis, then velocity is disturbed. It is steady. Axis is steady, but it can generate the velocity. In wheel, what happens? Every wheel has got axis. Being axis steady, it is the velocity of the movement that takes place in the wheel. And that becomes the velocity of the vehicle. The body's velocity depends upon the steady axis of each and every cell of the body. And that is our lifespan. Energy gets itself retained in human body as space and time because of this axis. And if it moves a little, we feel lost. It is like a big axis. It is like a big axis. Axis of our cell is similar to the axis of the entire cosmos. It's not different. It is the same. And that is why what we feel in our body, the entire cosmos also feels it. And that is why getting my state of consciousness so widened that it includes the entire cosmos. It's not my body that is only limited body apparently visible to you. It is the whole of Brahman. It is the whole of cosmos that is within me. That is within me. Little plot of mortality touched by the tenant became a playground of the living infinite. It is a playground of the living infinite that I can feel within my body. It's like a big axis. It varies in size. It varies in size. It can be quite small. Planted squarely in time. Planted squarely in time. It is the square that represents immortality. That is what yesterday I told you. It is the square that represents immortality. Because perfection is being executed within the limit of the square. Square seems to be limited, but is infinite. Cell seems to be limited, but is infinite. That is the axis. And the squarely in time, it is the squarely existence, micro existence in time, that is immortality. Squarely in time, and everything revolves around it, and everything revolves. Everything, each and every cell of my body revolves around this invisible axis. The consciousness may extend more or less far, be more or is high, more or less strong, but it revolves about that axis. It revolves around the axis. It may be a weak, it may be far away, it may be within my body, but everywhere. So Mother is getting herself universally expanded. Krishna presented himself in 11th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita before Arjuna in two forms, one individualized and another Virat. Mother also, though is not visible to Satprem, but Mother also presents her two forms, one form that is human body and another form that is Virat. The axis of both of these formations is same. And now for me. Now what happens to me at present? And now for me there is no more axis. I feel that there is no more axis of my own, whom I can say that this is my axis. My axis and the axis of the cosmos are same. I am not different from cosmos. You may see it or not, doesn't make any difference. But I myself and entire universe are not different. There is no longer anything. It's gone, blown. And I feel that there is no longer individual existence. It's gone. I have become the entire universal existence. I can feel within me the entire macroscopic existence into my microscopic existence. This is what I was observing. There is no longer anything. It's gone, blown away. The consciousness can move here or there. My consciousness can travel here or there, anywhere, at any time. I can travel, I can go, I can feel any of the experiences anywhere. Gestured to the various cardinal points. Mother pointed out on her body that these are the portals, and on the strength of my transformed portals I can conquer the space, I can conquer the time. So time will come, I will conquer the death too. It can go backwards or forwards. It can go backwards or forwards. Sometimes it enters into my body, my being, sometimes enters into my body, and sometimes enters into the universe. So at what time I am entering into the universe and at what time I am entering into my body, I cannot exactly comprehend now. It can go backwards or forwards. It can go anywhere. It can go anywhere. It can go to any corner of the universe. There is no limit to my consciousness. There is no limit to the speed of my consciousness, and there is no limit to the movement of my consciousness, because there is no limit to the energy of my consciousness. Energy of my consciousness is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. That is God particle. This is God particle. For the first time, and before that Higgs boson invented, God particle in consciousness was invented by Mother. At any time, I am everywhere. There is no longer anything, it's gone. The axis is gone. It no longer revolves around an axis. It's interesting. No more axis. Without axis, I am revolving around the transcendental consciousness. Around the supreme consciousness I am revolving. The sun from which we kindle all our suns. Satprem notes down here. But all of a sudden, the undulation becomes very concrete and reveals its true nature, the constituent and dynamic foundation of all physical reality. New nature, true nature, the constituent and the dynamic. Constituent, that is steady. There are three types of energy. That is what modern science accepts, physics accepts. Static energy, dynamic energy, and kinetic energy. There are three layers of energy. Static energy, that is the pedestal of energy. Dynamic energy, omnipotent energy. And kinetic energy, energy put into limitation. Automobile runs, plane flies, bicycle is driven. Anything which we put from one place to another place, this is the movement, that becomes kinetic energy. Energy is the energy coming from the psychic through mind, but apparently we can see the movement. Where there is energy, there is movement, and where there is movement, there is energy. So the universe is moving, revolving around something, but that something is so powerfully energetic that whatever movement accepted by universe is being derived from that something. Similarly, the movement of the body also receives the energy from somewhere else, from something, but this is the energy that becomes motivating force for this body to move. Axis is not seen simply. There must be something new in the consciousness. There must be something new in the consciousness. The consciousness that is taking place within my body will be so converted within no time that there will be something new that will be added to it. There must be something new in the consciousness of cellular aggregates. My all cells are aggregatedly solidified and consolidated, but what makes them so consolidated is something. They are kept together, they are formulated together, they are very, very small microscopic cells, but they are placed together by one fabricating force, one motivating force, one solidifying force. That force is something which I cannot at this stage define, but it is that force which binds all of them together and it becomes my body. Something, a new experience must be in process. It is a new experience that is in process. That something also will be visible, and cause also will be visible, and the consequences also will be visible, and I can feel both of them together as a result. Last night I had a series of fantastic experiences. Last night I had series of fantastic experiences, cellular experiences. Mother says they are cellular experiences, which I don't even understand. Mother says that I don't even understand, and which must be the beginning of a new revelation. It must be a beginning of new revelation. It will be a beginning of new body. It will be the beginning of the new formulation of my supramental body within my this physical body. As the experience began, something in me was observing, but when experience as such starts within me, something that is observing, and that is also something. And who is something? Psychic. My psychic is observing the play of my cells getting so transformed. Though psychic is doing it, but psychic is observing it also. So he is the creator, he is the observer, psychic is the Trimurti, psychic is the Prakriti of Dattatreya, psychic is the creation, psychic is the sustenance, and psychic is the transformer. There is always something ironical and amused in me witnessing everything. It amuses me that my psychic is creating also, generating the force, and still is witnessing everything. And it said, well, if this were happening to anybody else, he would think he is seriously ill. If this sort of experience is felt by someone else, he is considered or she is considered to be ill, considered to be diseased, considered to be sick, considered to be a victim of any disease, because it is disorder fundamentally that appears to be a disease to the world of anatomy, to medical world. Or half mad. Either he is considered to be ill or half mad. So I am also considered to be half mad by my own inmates. So I stayed very quiet and said, let it be. Let it see what happens. Doesn't matter. Let it be. Let them think in their own way. I don't mind. I will see what happens, but I will see what happens. I am just enjoying my change. I am enjoying this divine play of infinite on my little playground. This is my little playground. Plot of mortality. Little plot of mortality. That is my body. I will see what happens. Fantastic. Indescribable. See, it is fantastic, indescribable. It will have to be repeated several times before I begin to understand. See, Mother says that before I begin to understand, let it be as it is. And we always interfere with our mind in any of the mystery, within or without. Something happens, we try to interfere mentally, and that becomes so deterioratingly affected by our meddling intellect. That is the play of our mind. This is the play of psychic, and still psychic is witness also, and psychic is creator also. It will have to be repeated several times before I begin to understand. Fantastic. It started at 8:30, time pointed out by the mother. It started at 8:30 and lasted till 2:30 in the morning. In the early morning, series of experiences as such came to me, and I experienced all of them. I am conscious, and consciously I have experienced. Which means I did not lose consciousness. I am not unconscious, nor I am in coma. Whatever was witnessed by my psychic very consciously. Lose consciousness for a second. I did not lose my consciousness for a second. Doesn't matter. People could see that mother is in trance. But I am not in trance. I am internally conscious. You may think that I am in trance. I am internally conscious. I did not lose consciousness for a second. During all that time I was there, witnessing the most extraordinary things. I am witnessing all the while most extraordinary things. I don't know where it's all going. It's indescribable. You see, you become a forest. See, you become a forest. I become a forest. A river, a mountain, a house, and all that is a sensation of the body. What body can feel. I can feel myself house, I can feel myself forest, I can feel myself mountain, I can feel myself river. So this is my universal personality. My universal motherhood is creating this new body within my body. The body, a perfectly concrete sensation, it's not hallucination, is a perfectly concrete sensation of the body and many other small similar things indescribable, and many other similar things indescribable. Satprem puts a question, a kind of ubiquity of the cells, a kind of ubiquity of the cells. It is cellular movement, it is cellular change, it is cellular regeneration. What is it? Yes, mother says, yes, oneness. I can feel myself one with the universe. I am Virat and I am individual. I am consciousness individualized, and my same psychic is the consciousness universalized. The sense of oneness. Obviously, if this were to become a natural, spontaneous and constant condition, death could no longer exist. Then there is no death. If this becomes very common experience to the common people, then death will not exist. This is the final clue. Death could no longer exist. Even in this body, death would not exist. For the first time, mother has seen the possibility of transforming death. And the rest of the passages and quotations where the milestones of this experience of totality. So today this is enough. Jai Mataji.